As promised, we've got the Canadian version of the American Princess phone. This is actually called the Northern Electric Contessa, if I remember rightly. Had this quite a while actually as well. It's making sure I'm giving the right name. I think it's the Contessa. My memory on things is not too good at the moment. I seem to forget a lot of things. But anyhow, it's made by Northern Electric of Canada, which is the Canadian offshoot of Western Electric. They were thought at the time to be a better made set than the equivalent Bell set or the Western Electric set. I don't know really what they mean, but that is what the write-up says. It also mentions that the very early ones had a dodgy, what they call it a foot, what the phone would stand on. It was made of a glue which wasn't very good, and the underside came off. I will show you the underside of this one, but at the moment it's all undone, ready to show you the innards. It was called the Barefoot Contessa. Yeah, I've got the name right, Contessa. Now a little bit of history here. I had a chance when I was in my 70s, I might have mentioned this before, to go across to Canada. It was a sad time of the year because my father had only died recently at that time. I was in my 20s, and I'm now 70, so I'm over 70, so it gives you an idea how long ago it was. And I had a relative which was from Canada. In fact, I'm half Canadian, who lived in Fort William, or as it's now called, Thunder Bay. It was two towns, Fort William and Port Arthur. It's now called Thunder Bay. Anyhow, I arrived, 2 trips on plane, and it was quite enjoyable. Also looking round at all the interesting bits and bobs which I was interested in, their phones, their electrical stuff and everything else. But anyhow, I thought, well, as I worked for the post office on telephones, I would try and get into their local exchange, or central office as they call them. So I had a letter of introduction from England, and I found where the office was in Fort William, or Thunder Bay, and knocked on the door and was shown in. I might have mentioned this before. The gentleman I saw knew someone that I knew well in England, and he'd actually come from England. So it's a small world, a very small world. And I was able, sort of cutting a long story short, to buy this phone, this actual phone. I'd seen the one of these sets when I joined the post office many years ago. Don't know what the year was, but I was sort of late teens. In one of their night classes which we had to attend, a gentleman in there showed me one of these phones. I don't know where he got it from. It was obviously the Western version, but I was quite impressed. I'd never seen one before. And at that time my collection of phones was quite limited. I had a few phones, a few bulbs, a few of everything that I collect now. So it was quite interesting. It was the dial version, which this one is. Anyhow, getting back to this Northern phone, I picked it up, I paid for it, and was well pleased. It had quite a long lead on it. The lead that you see now is not the original lead. It was probably the same colour as the set itself, I don't know. But the rest is completely genuine. We'll take the handset off, and as we can see, I hope it shows up, Northern Electric, made in Canada. It's a standard handset as used. Now, interesting to note the dial. Now, on the Dawn phone, which is also a Canadian phone, the O doesn't have the words operator. This one does. It was obviously before they changed and they no longer had the word operator. It may have been due to the French speaking side, I don't know. But anyhow, just a snippet of information. Let's have a look inside. I'll cut the light off so we can see the phone. These phones were totally different. It didn't have a sealed in network. It was all open, and I was familiar with this type of phone because the English phones were the same. They didn't have a network. Well, it wasn't called a network. The components were on a board or hardwired. Now this one is hardwired. You've got your anti-side tone coil there, as to give you your blowback and transmission. Various other components, all original. The little bulb, the bulb's not original. That was an English bulb which was replaced. It's a screw-in type. You just proved it has a bell. I think I'll find the same ringer as the Western Electric. They had all the bits there. Now the dial, probably upside down, yeah. Let's have a closer look what it says on there. Northern Electric, made in Canada, with various dates. Now these dials are rather nice because they're not plastic covered, they're actually metal covered. You can see the innards there. At least I hope. Oh, here we can. I won't take the cover off. It would come off, but I'm not going to take it off. You've got your pulse springs and your dial off normal springs, which this wire goes to inside. So you have your two sets of springs. What else? You've got the little switch at the back for your night light on or off. This, as I said, concerning the other phone, the touch tone one, would need, if you were running it, the little light, you'd need a little transformer, and I showed you these on the last one. It plugged into an outlet. Here it's all wired to the transformer, as I said, and I also corrected the wiring in the little box. So the white now goes to the white, and the yellow to the yellow, the black to the black. So I wired that up correctly now. And thanks again to the gentleman that mentioned that the touch tone phones were a polarity conscious, and it certainly was. It didn't work originally when I connected it up. Oh no, it's not working. But when I swapped the wires around, it did. This is unlike the English phones. They you could wire them both ways around, as far as I can remember. I don't know about the very early ones, but that was that part. Now let's have a look at the underside. Now it looks a bit rough and ready. We'll turn it over. Age has shown, and it's got the NE number there, Northern Electric, where the little light goes in. As you can see, the anti-run cover that it would sit on is not in very good nick. It's unfortunate, it is a bit grubby on the base, but the phone works, and that is the main thing. It does work. It's not a modular phone. You can see the wires going in, and they have a little clip on the side which clips into the actual base plate, and the same with the receiver. Make sure they're in, because if they're not in, the lead can pull out. There's the close-up of the ringer. The date there, 68, would probably be the date when I went to Canada. It was brand new then. But as I say, it's interesting to see the type of layout. I don't know what they are like now. They've possibly got the normal network arrangement, but I was pleased to get this one because it was a little bit different. I can pop it back. Because you'll probably want to hear it ringing. I can give you a ring back. 175. 175. It should ring back. A nice characteristic ring of the Contessa phone. Anyhow, thanks for watching. Any questions, please ask. I do like talking, as you probably guessed. So I don't know what's going to go up next. We might have a bulb, a fluorescent fitting even. I've noticed these seem to cause quite a bit of interest. Well, other people have put them up. So, you know, I may do that. It'd be interesting to see. Anyhow, thanks again for watching. I'll restore this phone back in its correct position. This is actually in the collection. It's not which is on. Anyhow, thanks again for watching. Please subscribe. Any comments, please make. Any questions, please make. And I will get back to you. Many thanks again. Thank you.